Hospice care gave our family the joy of being at home. Hospice care gave us a sense of control, that we had some idea of what to expect and as the process went on, when to expect it. Hospice care made it possible for us to all be there, to know that it was the right time to be there when my mother-in-law died. And hospice care provided full service care in terms of spiritual care and comfort care for anyone in our circle of caregivers who needed it.
It's interesting to note that the average heart patient with heart failure referred to hospice lives 81 days longer than patients that aren't referred to hospice. Raising the question as to why is that? And the answer is that so much of survival and quality of life, but survival, if you want to look at survival in advanced heart failure, depends on close attention and sensitive care and treatment of pain, treatment of depression, supporting people, being available for people. Survival depends heavily on that. And hospice is unique in being able to offer that as a central part of their care.
Let them go home, let them be in peace, let them have comfort. And that includes taking their heart medicine, so they're not just thrown away from the medicine that's been making them comfortable. My mother-in-law took her Coreg right up until she couldn't.
It doesn't mean that all treatments are stopped. It implies a transition to giving up or being at peace, for everybody to be at peace with the idea that you're not looking for life prolongation anymore, or cure, you're looking more for improving the quality of life. And you can maintain an open mind about the duration of life. It's not expected that the patient will die within a certain period of time. It's thought that they might. It's thought that they have a life-shortening illness that's likely to shorten their life to less than 6 months, life expectation. But doesn't require that the person die at the end of that period. And I think our experience has been with hospice that often patients will exceed that expectation.
Particularly with physicians, I stress the fact that this is our expertise, that we are highly skilled in making sure that their patient is comfortable and lives well. And that is really what we tell families when we address hospice care, that we are not here to talk about your death so much as we are here to talk about your life and making that time that you have left as valuable and as comfortable and as meaningful as possible.
What you never ever hear is somebody saying, oh, I went to hospice too soon, or you know, I shouldn't have started that process then. Quite the contrary. It is always, I wish I had done this earlier.
What happens when the conversation is not had is the disease will progress as the disease will progress, and the person will become weaker and more isolated and more withdrawn, and then die, often lonely, often alone, in the worst possible situation. And that, in my mind, is a tremendous failure, because it doesn't really need to happen.
I don't necessarily expect every physician to be an expert on what hospice services are and how we can help and different scenarios and what has worked. They really can't be experts on that. What I try to get physicians to do is to say to families, this is an option for you. Would you mind if someone came in and spoke to you about that? And just kind of explain that to you, and you can decide whether or not that's something you'd be interested in.
There's nothing easy about losing a patient, but you're doing no patient a favor to have them hang on with false hope and feeling awful and their family stuck in some hospital room, when in fact that patient would really like to know that he or she is not going to get well and could use the time left to comfortably do what they want or need to do. If it's too hard for you to say to someone, I really don't think that it makes any sense to have further treatment, then find somebody who can say that to someone. Because it's not fair to your patients to keep treating them when you know it's just going to make them uncomfortable and not going to make them well.